Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It has been really, really fun and exciting to be sharing my readings with you guys. I decided to call them astrological oracles. Hmm, Sounds interesting. Wow, we've had a lot of energies coming at us in February, and today is no different. It's the 20th of February, and Saturn has come to meet Neptune at 0 degrees Aries. You want some more information about 0 degrees Aries and the energies and the transits that are coming up? I linked another video to the end of this one, Mystics at the Grocery Store, where we're talking about these transits that are coming up. And it gives you a little bit more meat, a bit more detail for it. My name is Adrienne. I am an alchemist and an evolutionary astrologer, and I like to apply Oracle and Tarot to the stars, the cosmos, of what's going on, to kind of give us some support and guidance as how we can work with this energy. So just a little bit of information about 0 degrees Aries. I so I was sitting with this today um, before coming on. And it's like, okay, so this is definitely a historical time. Um, the last time, okay, let me back up a little bit. So they come into an alignment every 35 to 36 years, Saturn and Neptune. So that's not what's that going on? It's the fact that they're coming together at 0 degrees Aries. Now, go around the zodiac wheel. 0 degrees Aries is the beginning. It's the very beginning of the zodiac signs. It's the very beginning of the zodiac wheel. It's the first degree of the zodiac. And this conjunction between Saturn and Neptune coming together at 0 degrees Aries, the very beginning, only happens like every 300 years. I mean, this is historic. This type of energy that we're sitting in is historic. It's 300 years. It's just kind of blowing me away a little bit. It's a very exciting time for me because I'm realizing this only happens every 300 years. And I wrote myself some questions. It's like, how are you going to be a contributing part of the collective energy? Seeing the opportunities with honor, seeing them as possibilities. And then this vision of earth, water, fire. Saturn is earth, Neptune is water, Aries is fire. And this trinity that they're creating, this lovely trinity. And it was coming to me like this vision of pottery, and I could be wrong in the process now. But anyway, got earth, clay, you add water, and then you got the fire to set it into something sustainable, firmer, usable. We all know. And if you don't know, it's okay. Saturn is boundary setting, and Neptune is about dissolving boundaries. Okay. And like they're opposites. They're on we talked about this before. Saturn's over here, Neptune's over here, and what they do, what they believe in, what they are archetypes of. Saturn wants to draw that line in the sand, and Neptune's like, no, 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 leave it blurry. Let's remove the lines. And then he's got that Aries energy, that fire energy, the bold, audacious, impulsive energy coming through, and it's purifying the differences between the two. I was getting a vision of like, I don't know, some kind of Star Trek UN or something. Or and these collective bodies are coming together to come into an alignment of balance for their future because they know it's what's necessary. And even though, Aries is the god of war, yes, he's the god, he's going to make something change, definitely going to make something change. Um, Neither Neptune or Saturn are really comfortable on this Aries energy, so it can cause some discomfort. If I'm sure you've heard stories about 300 years ago, what happened, what kind of wars were going on. And it's just bringing my awareness, bringing the collective awareness that there has to be a balance. If you have too much earth, you turn to sand, you crumble. You can't form into any kind of sustainable pottery. If you have too much water, it's not going to form. And if you have too much fire, it's just going to crack this clay open. Not enough fire is not going to do anything. So it's really was coming to me so intensely that this trinity of these three different elements coming together, they have to be in balance. So I'm saying, okay, where's the challenge? Well, where is the challenge? This is still sounding exciting to me. And um, you have to have courage. The courage is the challenge. The courage to see yourself in a new way, the courage to see something else in a new way, removing any judgments or criticisms around this new way of. Um, the courage to balance as far as how much fire you're bringing to a situation, how much emotion you're bringing to a situation, how much stubbornness you're bringing into a situation. So all that was coming through for me, and it took lots and lots of beautiful notes for myself. So again, we're going to bring in this trinity. We've got the new calendar year, January started, and then we had the new lunar year that was just started a couple of days ago into Fire Horse, and now we're having the new zodiacal year. So again, we're bringing in that trinity, and that trinity is amplification. It's strength. Think about the pyramids. They're built in a triangle. Okay, trinity. So when we're bringing in this horse energy, this fire horse energy, I was looking more towards like what are the primal instincts? Because primal, Aries, very primal, very, very deeply personal. What are the primal instincts of the fire horse, of the horse? The fire is to run rampant and go and do and impulsive and and make and create and burn. And the horse very instinctively loves most things. They go into colic, they need that movement in order to heal themselves. They love freedom. There's a sense of rebellion when you're trying to train, break a horse. There's this saying my girlfriend used to always say to me, if you're not training them with the right habits, then you're untraining them. Oh, sorry about that. Then you're untraining them, something like that. So I kept coming back to the fact that fire is scary. We see a fire, we're like, okay, caution. Okay. Who's tending to the fire because it can be impulsive, it can jump, it wants to spread, it wants to be free. So the question that kept coming to me was, how can you be in your courage alongside the discomfort of the unknowingness of new beginnings? And I was like, wow, like, how can you? Like, where can you find that courage to see something in its vulnerable state? Because if something's been burned, the skin or whatever is now vulnerable. But to see it in a state where, like, it's the beginning of something new, that seed underground, it knows to do whatever it's supposed to do to crack open that shell, to find the warmth of the sun. But the courage that it has to break out of the darkness into the light of what it can't see, that's what was coming to me as part of this challenge that this energy is presenting. Whew. It's it's exciting. It can be intense. Definitely want to remember to be in your authenticity, to even connect with the cards. We're going to take that here over on the side to be in your authenticity as you go forward. So I'm just going to take a moment and connect with the cards. And one jumped out saying that it had something to say right now. We're going to ask that they connect with us and give us our challenge, our support, and our gifts with our highest and best good. This is going to be our challenge. Oh my, everybody wants to speak today. They're all jumping out. Put that to the side. And we're going to take that one because it flipped itself over. And that's our challenge card. And we're going to take this one as our support card because it jumped out, right? And this is going to be our challenge, support, and gift. So our challenge card is the Five of Wands. Wands is about action. Fire, it's a fire card. Five, representation of conflict. Arguments. Could be inner and outer conflict. So our challenge is that inner and outer conflict. What it is that we are, saying we are, to what it is we're showing that we are. Sometimes when I look at this card, it's like, one guy looks like he's already celebrating what's happening. He's already victorious. Actually, this guy in the green too also looks like he's being victorious. Like, yes, something great is happening. Even the guy in the blue. And what I love about this card is I look at this star in the back. Sometimes the cards just speak to themselves. This Five of Wands is about conflict. There's an internal, external conflict. There's some type of conflict that's going to be the challenge. And we just talked about that, where you've got the opposites. You've got the polar opposites. Saturn's on one side and Neptune's on the other side of the seesaw, or what do they call them? Sometimes they call teeter-totter. And it's going to be about balance. Okay. And our supporting card with this inner outer conflict. How do we get to the middle point? Because ultimately that's where you want to be. It's at the middle point, that alignment. Cleanse and release. Now, as an alchemist, we see fire and water as purifiers, cleansers. So for this to be a card that indicates to cleanse and release, it's a purifying card. It's a card that says purify. And knowing that Neptune is about dissolving and knowing that Saturn is about bringing in structure, the conversation between the two is going to be Saturn Neptune is the professor. He sets the syllabus. Okay. We've looked at the syllabus. These things aren't going to work anymore. These dreams, they're not viable anymore. And Saturn says, okay, I'm going to remember that they're not. And then, like, now what? Okay, now we know. What can we build together with intention? What can we do? And then that Aries energy, the fire horse energy, all this layered on comes in, says, let's cleanse away, let's release. We know it's not going to work. And as we release what we know is not going to work, the gift, the high priestess, high priestess is basically, so sorry, I'm going to work on these hand movements and where what the cards need to be at so that you can see both my face and the cards and what I'm looking at. So this high priestess, what she's saying is the answers are all within. Okay. She's sitting in between the two pillars. The two pillars, let's say in this instance, it's Saturn and Neptune on the side. I love that she represents water. See, this is water here, calming that fire, the fire horse energy. So as you come into this balance, this alignment, based on you trusting yourself, trusting your instincts, fire horse instincts, Aries, primal instincts, to be in your courage, your courageous, your boldfulness. The water kind of tames your impulsivity. But this is the gift. As you recognize the conflicts, you see those things that are no longer dreams that are viable, no longer part of who you are going forward in your truth. You find the disciplines, you find the structure of this new way of looking at these dreams. Like, how can we create it now with intention? It's not going to work without intention, without structure. Is there some way, if we place structure in line, that it's going to work? Right? And then the supporting card is like, we're going to cleanse and release what doesn't serve. What's coming to me is they're shifting for gold. Don't they? Okay, I know they don't shift for gold. I don't know how they do gold right now. But I can remember watching Westerns with my dad, and when they're on their gold, whatever you call it, when they're looking for gold, and they have this pan with like mesh in it, and it sifts away, it sifts out the sand, the dirt, and rinses away so you can find the gold. That's what's coming to me here. You're cleansing and you're releasing, you're purifying, you're letting that which is no longer going to be viable, that no longer, which is part of your truth, that you recognize. You come into an alignment and you realize that trust yourself, trust your instincts. That's the gift. Are these going to be leaps and bounds? Small steps, small steps. We're just coming out of an eclipse season where the dust is still settling. But as the dust settles, and the clarity starts to come through and you start to see more clarity on what it is that you're working towards, what it is that you're trying to become, that you're trying to bring forward, whether it's a business product, whether it's a workshop that you're trying to create, whether it's trying to show people who you are and what you have become, and letting them know you're here to help if they need. Okay. These things, they work together very, very beautifully. The challenge card being the Five of Wands. This is a fire. Wands is fire. Five is about conflict. We talked about Saturn and Neptune and even Aries. All really like each other. They're not the most comfortable energy here. But they're going to figure out how to work together. Then they're going to cleanse and release what's no longer serving. Number 6 here, always have to bring in numerology. You know that. Kind of reminds me of that grandmother energy. Same with Saturn, reminds me of that grandmother energy. Like, okay, now you know they didn't work the last time. So why are you going to do it again this time? We'll let you learn for yourself, baby. But, okay. So this 6 also talks a lot about harmony. They want relationships to be in harmony as well, but they also allow the growth of the energies, the evolving of the energies. And then we're going to top it off with the High Priestess. Trust yourself, trust your knowledge, trust your tapping into your unique self. You have the answers. And now you know that you have the answers, not all the answers, but you have an answer to how to work within this conflict, work within these energies that may be conflictual. I think that's a word. We're going to use it right now. There's something about a controlled burn. So if we look at this energy that's present, if we look at this energy that we are currently in and have the opportunity to contribute to and come at it in a very controlled burn, a controlled purification, controlled release, I think that's going to be what makes our challenge through this feel more purposeful. Okay. Aries energy, very deeply personal. Like you're going in deep. You're doing some deep looking at what's going on. We're going to soothe it away with some nice water baths here. We're going to come out stronger on the other side because you know the strength comes from within. Strength comes from within. I don't know, with the card that just had to jump out, say what it had to say. And I'm going to take this as the overarching energy. This is the 9. It's the end of a cycle. Gemini's up perspective. Something that's keeping you up at night. Maybe this conflict that you feel going on. Dreams into realities. It's not working. It's not working. How can I get it to work? Saturn says, okay, we know these things aren't going to work. This part isn't going to work. What if we add a little bit of structure here? Okay. Swords are just the thoughts that are going through, not just the thoughts. Don't get me wrong. Nothing is just, but they're the thoughts that are going through your head while you're trying to get your rest, while you're trying to come to a place of resolve, alignment. Trust in yourself. Look at this beautiful golden pillow right here. Surrender. See things a little bit differently. Remember to align your conflict. Whatever was conflictual, regard this another new word. Whatever was conflictual, let the pieces of it rinse away. Back to nourish the land. Back to nourish you. You have the answers. Trust in yourself. Come out of a place of worry. It says here at the bottom of the card, worrying changes nothing. Decide your next steps. Allow it to rinse away. Trust in yourself and lay back on that golden pillow. I do agree this can be a very scary time. Fire, scary. We see it, fire. But what if we looked at it as a way of purifying, of releasing what no longer serves, serves its current purpose? I don't like to say no longer serves because it has a purpose now. It's going down into the compost. It's going to nurture. It's going to create this rich soil, this rich water that helps clarify and clean away and purify. This was a wonderful experience for me to journal. I put 3 to 4 pages just in life chapters alone, just about this particular transit. And I'm excited. Like 300 years, you get to be part of this type of energy that only happens every 300 years. And I'm going to be very intentional with what energies I put into today, what energies I greet people with as well, external and internal energy. I hope you're enjoying this readings. If you are interested in life chapters, and I absolutely love life chapters. I can't say enough about life chapters. It's about being the author of your own journey. You're writing your things down. And as you write them down, they become more solidified for you, even if it's a fear that you have. Recognizing and owning, that's my fear. Do I want to live in this fear? Do I want to walk through it? Do I want to see what the bottom of this fear is? How can I come into more alignment so I'm not in a fearful state and enjoy life? So enjoy. The link for life chapters will be down in the show notes. I hope you guys are really, really enjoying this. And thank you to everybody that subscribes and liked my videos. Take care, and I'll see you on the next time, the next transit. Stay empowered.